Hi there, and welcome to Real Talk in ELT, a podcast about the reality of teaching English. I'm your host, Kelly Pennington. Thank you for joining me today. Hello again. It is the weekend. Welcome back. I've actually just finished the first week of a business skills intensive course. I have one more week to go through some more materials with my group. They're a great group, and actually it's quite interesting because it's a mix of business professionals and some business English teachers, which is great because I love sharing materials with business English teachers, and I think them being able to see and go through the process as a student will help them understand a little bit better what they might need to prepare for their students. So it's a great group. I'm having lots of fun. One of the big things that we've been working on this past week, though, is online presence, resume, LinkedIn profiles, and then kind of, with the online presence, talking about online profiles like with social media and things like that. And so we've been talking about that. We've been looking at examples of people in their industry, people that they see as thought leaders or people that they see as inspirational, or maybe people who are in positions that they would like to be in the near future. And a couple things came up. So one thing is that teachers are really busy, and I know this, and so are business professionals. We have lives, we have families, we've got everything going on at the house. We've got things going on. On top of that, we need to maintain an online presence because unfortunately or fortunately, this is the world that we live in, right? So we need to maintain an online presence, and we need to be able to present ourselves in a way that as business professionals, whatever industry you're in, is interesting for people to work with you and to network with you and to be in contact with you in general. As I'm working with a group that's a mixed group between teachers and business professionals, it's quite interesting because all of these things apply. And one thing that is daunting for any individual in the professional world is this question. And I'm so glad I found this graphic from Mark Mitry, I think that's how we say it. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's down there at the bottom. And I thought this graphic was fantastic because there are many times that my LinkedIn profile gets neglected for whatever reason. My Instagram gets abandoned. I forget that there is a whole world going on outside of classes and meeting with clients and everything else. So I thought this was an amazing graphic that can be used in many industries, from teachers to business professionals. And it has 17 suggestions of what you should post on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, I think, is a very, very specific platform, especially for networking with other professionals and potential clients. So I tend to keep my LinkedIn more on the professional side, and my Instagram has some fun jokes here and there and inspirational things, but my LinkedIn is overwhelmingly, it's more on the professional side. But I thought these were great suggestions. So if we take a look at them, and I'll just read down the list because some people might be just listening and others might be watching as well, but here we go. So number one of the list, what should I post on my LinkedIn? Number one is lessons from your past experiences. I think that always helps, seeing how you've grown, seeing how you can reflect regardless of your industry. Number two, document anything you learned throughout your day. There's a lot of lessons you learn throughout the day, and a lot of times we forget to take note of those because they might be useful for other professionals. Number three, your take or your vision on the latest industry news and trends. So there's a lot of things going on in every industry. What's happening in yours? Stay up to date on that type of stuff and see if your opinion can contribute to a larger conversation. Number four, go behind the scenes and show what doesn't get seen. If you saw my desk right now, you know what? I will post. I'll take a picture and post my messy desk with all my notes and craziness here. Number 5, record a conversation via Zoom or a podcast. If anybody's interested, I'm always open for ELT professionals to come on and chat with me. But yeah, I think that's interesting, especially if you're having a chat with a coworker about ideas for your industry. I think it's valid for people to share that type of content. Number 6, tips and valuable advice from your expertise. Have you been doing something for a long time? And if so, can you share? Number 7, share your story and how you got to where you are. I do like to share my story because I think it's quite fun, and I enjoy my life in general. But I think sharing, it gives people a perspective that there's no traditional way to achieve what you achieve in your life. Number 8, post your favorite chapter or quote from a book. This happens frequently in English language teaching. People do recommend books and chapters and quotes and specific authors, and I think it's great. And I also think that people can do that in other industries, but it's, for some reason, academics like to do that a little bit more. Number 9, share a loss or failure and what you've learned. This is great because there's a lot of people thinking that maybe they're the only people going through these losses or failures, and that's not necessarily true. So it's nice to share those and what you learned afterwards, because it could be beneficial to someone in your industry. Number 10, highlight a client's success story. Fantastic. I love when my clients achieve things, and I try to share as much as possible, depending on if I can actually disclose some of the information. So make sure that you can actually disclose some of the success story information. I did watch a fantastic talk recently by Ricardo Bruns, and he had 3 case studies of fantastic successes with his clients, and it was very inspirational and showed that there is empathy in business English teaching. Number 11, publish a white paper or a case study document. You don't have to write it, but if it's something that's really applicable to your industry, or it's new or innovative, or, it's kind of modernizing the processes that you're working on, I think it's valid for people to have that type of information. And if you can be the distributor of that information, then that's fantastic. Number 12, talk about common mistakes made in your industry. There's a lot. And I think in every industry, there's a lot in every industry. So being able to identify those, and maybe not only identify, but also suggest reasonable solutions that could be implemented, I think would be a good follow-up to that as well. Number 13, showcase a friend or colleague's story and triumph. There's an H missing here. Mark Metry. There's an H missing at the end of triumph. English teachers always catch those things. Yes, so I think it's good to promote other professionals that are doing really good jobs in your industry, because that's the only way that your industry moves forward in a positive direction. Number 14, transparent and authentic emotional words from your heart. Sometimes everyone goes through challenges and has issues and everything like that. And I think we have to stop trying to dehumanize people. Social media, unfortunately, has created this vacuum of life is amazing all the time, and that's really not the case. So be authentic. Don't overshare, obviously, but be authentic. 15, great strategies, guides, and best practices to do better. I am going to make it my challenge to share as much content that I can, found all over, everywhere. Books, the internet, sites, social media, because I think that there's a lot of things that people are doing really well, and we should highlight those. So wherever you find it, even if you made it or somebody else did, if it's a great strategy guide or best practices, let's share those things. Number 16, ask thought-provoking questions that make people stop. Good. I do this all the time to my mentees, and they hate me for it. I think it's a love-hate relationship. When you ask someone a really hard question and they have to stop and really think about it, it's important, because it means that they have to kind of dig deep and see what they value, what they believe, and why they believe that, and they have to find that justification. So it's a really good thing that people have to do. Quite a nice exercise. And last but not least, number 17, community threads where people can find each other. building a community is an amazing thing to do. I've been privileged enough to work with the Breast T-Sold BSIG on the board with some fabulous other board members, Ricardo Bruns, Isabel Badra, and Carla Delia, and they're fantastic. And because we've worked together and really formed friendships, we've been able to reach out and contact and be in touch with so many other amazing professionals, and the network keeps growing. So find a community, interact in that community, because it really does benefit you. And I've had immense benefits from working with other professionals. So I think these are great ideas to post on LinkedIn. I think they're very relevant, and I don't think that they go beyond what you should be posting as a personal reflection, what you should be posting on LinkedIn. Keep it professional, keep it interesting, and try and move your industry forward. So good job at Markmetry. I think that's how I'm supposed to say it. Fantastic job. I really loved it. Just missing the H at the end of triumph. But overall, really, really good suggestions. And hopefully teachers and other business professionals can take these and start building a great network on their LinkedIn profiles. That's it for me today. Stay tuned for more episodes of Real Talk in ELT. I'll be trying to put together some new and exciting things and sharing lots of information that I've gotten recently and over the years. And also, I'm really excited for the guests that I have lined up for this semester. So stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Ready to join the conversation? Head on over to Instagram at Real Talk and ELT Pod or at Kelly Pennington ELT and send me a message. That's it for me. Take care of yourself, your health, your vibe, and your tribe. Until next time.